It doesn't matter what any of this garbage over here is doing. You have your own kind of zone, right? You have your own stuff. The next thing I want to do.
Always set it up for native so the internet goes out. You're okay. Because we all know the internet never goes out.
Let me pull up the username and password for her. Okay. Do you have a phone that we can take a picture of this? Yeah. Camera. Okay. Boom. So this is the website username and password for the demo stuff. I'm kind of walking through. I'll sit with you probably at the end to help you a little bit. So we're going to talk about how do I assign AP reading. Okay. How do I assign AP reading and know what the kids are doing, what they're getting, and what they're not getting. Okay. So I'm in chapter 9. I just want to show you what the Smart Book looks like and feels like, okay? I just want you to see what it looks like and it feels like. This is from earlier. So this is yellow highlighting, okay? Oh my gosh, this chapter has a lot of important things. Usually you find areas that are not highlighted, right? So that's what the yellow highlighting looks like, to tell them this is a thing, a fact they need to know just to be successful in the AP exam. Every 9 to 15 minutes, this button will pulse. Questions, pulse, we'll start moving.
Can you go back real quick? I wasn't paying attention at the very beginning. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is Smart Book, right? Not ebook? Okay.
So I just clicked on it. Right now what I'm doing is just showing what it looks like and feels like, because then we're going to go assign it.
Okay.
I just want you to understand a little deeper the concept of the Smart Book. So this is Smart Book. Okay, continue reading. And it looks and feels just like the book, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks and feels just like the book. Okay, so this is, I think the yellow highlight is included here. Okay, oh look, they helped me in the first session get some questions right. This means they got it correct. Okay, the green, so I think it used to highlight green, and now they're blue, I think is better for color blindness. So I don't want to get in the weeds. I don't want you to have to wrap your head around too much. There's a Smart Book point, like 1, and they're slowly evolving to Smart Book 2.0. And the reason for that is accessibility. So like the green became blue. So this one, it has blue in it. I think psychology may be in the Smart Book 1, which is fine. They're just making some accessibility changes. This has the ability to read to you, which Smart Book 1 doesn't, etc. So anyways, this will pulse every 9 to 15 minutes. If you refuse to answer questions, a lady will pop up and she will say, you've been reading too long, you need to answer some questions, okay? But I want to go in and we're going to do a question.
So you got student resources and no Smart Book.
This is Smart Book. Is that your question?
So the student resources
And Smart Book. I'm just showing it to you right now. You don't have to go in it.
Real quick, I moved from recording video on my phone to recording my screen, so I'm copying everything you're doing to get this video, which I'll upload to the YouTube, and I can get y'all's info. But that's what's happening here.
Oh,
right now.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So here's a question. The semi-subsistence economy of most farmers meant that they raised crops in cities, bought everything they needed at the local store, received low prices for selling their goods, lived in produce on their own land and labor. I'm guessing that, I think I'm right. I'm wrong. Just fine. This is the thing that I think is powerful. This over here, resource. It's the book. They got this question wrong as a student. We click text, and it jumps in the text where that issue is covered. Okay, now we have trouble here because they helped me get some stuff right. It's highlighting what they need to read here, okay? So this is specifically about that issue. Where does it say subsistence? Profit size of France.
It doesn't. Oh, population growth moved down.
Oh, down. Yeah. So it's trying to kind of focus their reading that when they get something wrong, it jumps back. But then you can go back to questions. Next question. I'm going to ask for your help here. Which of the following best describes the role
Rare.
Rare. There you go.
There, right? I'm confident you got it right. Okay. Next question. Okay. Which of the following? I'm just gonna guess. I'm not very confident. Okay, I got part of it right, but it said it with all that apply. Exit assignment. Okay. Exit. So it is a reading experience with formative assessment questions, and it re-highlights their book based on if they get things right. Okay. Or wrong.
Now did you? Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a quick question. So those assessment questions that occur throughout the reading, are those also assessment questions in the actual assessment for that particular unit?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've never been asked that, but my instinct is no, they're not. It's specifically tied to the text into the book. Okay.
So can you get the question somewhere else, or you have to?
No, someone's asked me, can we like maneuver those questions? I'll tell you the truth. SmartBook comes from college.
Mhm.
This is a college product, and we are handed it, and they're like, there you go. And so we don't have a ton of authority over SmartBook, but
Do we get any kind of report as teachers as to what they're seeing, what they're answering, all that?
yes. It's under reports here.
Okay.
And I think there's no student loaded, so there's activity, performance, and it'll be super broken out. There'll be a ton that it's like a graph with every student's name, questions, length of time reading, like all of that. And then this is specifically about College Board objectives, standards.
So the questions will be listed on the report?
What did you say?
The question, you're saying they'll have the question and then.
It probably won't have the question, it'll have the learning objective. So like the standard that they're supposed to understand.
So we'll know, what the heck.
Let's go back in here. I'm going to show you how to assign SmartBook now. Okay, so we'll go back into chapter 9. You can skin this cat 2 different ways. Okay? You can skin this cat 2 different ways. You can just, in chapter 9, assign SmartBook. Okay, assign. You pick 100 points. You assign. And now, chapter 9 reading is now. And let's go look. Let's cross our fingers here, right? So now you see the kid now sees the SmartBook, where before they only saw the ebook. Now they see the SmartBook. Okay, when you assign it to them. Okay.
Do you change the assignment title, or you leave it the way it is?
I would just leave it the way it is, especially for SmartBook. There is a second way to skin this cat, and I don't mean this to confuse you. If you're watching me and you go, too confusing, I don't want to deal with that, then just stop listening to me. Okay? Just stop listening. But you can go to assignments, and y'all, this just gives you a little more power. I'm going to show you. The reason you would want to do this is because you can micromanage it a little bit. Okay? So you go to assignments, you go to add assignments. Okay? This is the part where you have to listen. Put this on your Google Drive. SmartBook 1 is here. SmartBook 2, the new, more accessible, the better highlighting colors, the reading of the words and stuff, is here. We're slowly moving where all of these will have SmartBook 2.0, but until we get there, if you see a SmartBook 2.0, that's where you should assign it, because it means you have it. I bet psychology doesn't even have a SmartBook 2.0 showing, would be my guess. So watch this. SmartBook 2.0, I clicked it, new assignment, continue. This is harder, but you have a lot more power. We're going to go to chapter 10, continue. Look at here, ladies and gentlemen. This gave you power that you did not have before. Yes? New assignment? Oh, new assignment. I would do new assignment. Okay? So this is chapter 10, now broken into its components. 10.1, 10.2, 10.3. It's way broken out. If you want to micromanage the reading experience, you can pull out some of those. But here's one thing I want to show you. This is why I think you might want to go this direction. Look at this. Average time to do chapter, which 10, am I done 10? 10 is 29 to 43 minutes. That's reading and answering questions. Now, y'all, I don't know your kids, but if that's going to overwhelm them and we want to kind of keep it down to the 30 zone, you can lower the amount of questions that it asks, okay, by dragging here. Come on, work with me, people. Here, okay. this and lower this. Okay, and I want to be clear with you. When you lower this, it's pulling a small amount of learning objectives out of each chapter. Okay? So this is giving you some power and authority over the amount of time the average student takes to do it. Okay? So, like I said, this is the second way to skin the cat. You can just click assign on the chapter page, and it's going to throw out the entire chapter to them and all the questions. If you think your kids will be overwhelmed in that, World is a good example. Someone was in World earlier, and it said an average of like 120 minutes. I mean, something stupid.
I don't
Because
see
there's a ton of questions.
2.0. Like, see assignments.
Assignments,
And then-
add assignment. 2.0. Yeah. So World definitely has 2.0 because it's so new.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I went to the old one and the new one, like all the chapters on my phone.
If
Yeah,
you,
so
yeah,
don't go
if you
in-
go through the cafeteria and then through those doors and then get out of the cafeteria to the right,
World,
there's
this
a
is
girl's
your
voice.
choice.
One more time, that was a lot of
I'm
So add
You're gonna
assignment.
go through there. Do you see where the cafeteria is? You're gonna go through that door, then turn right and go through that door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You've checked all this?
I have taken, yes, on my phone and then on the screen
So
recording.
you're gonna put it in Google Drive for
I can get it to everyone.
Yeah, if you can get it to me, I appreciate it, since I got missed
I'm
over.
big enough.
See,
I can't
if
vouch for
Get
the
online
quality.
here, I don't
I
care.
wanted to
Just as
do
long as I can
a
hear
quiz
it,
room,
it's the biggest thing.
I could
Hey,
say,
get online,
okay, I'm
you
gonna assign
can
these
get online.
three, that's 20 questions.
Bring your
Then
computer.
when I did it, this is chapter 10.
Plenty of questions.
Yeah, it's
Right.
chapter 10.
No, this is chapter 10.
But
His
you do
stops
that
at
when you're,
chapter 9.
they still see
I got 10
everything,
on
but
mine.
you're paying,
I'm on
okay,
that.
You're
I'm
on
gonna
10.
grade
Okay.
this chunk. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think you
Add
can
assignment.
click on, oh, that's a good question.
Smartbook 2.0 at the bottom.
Because I'm thinking if you
New
just
assignment.
selected those three,
Continue at the bottom.
right, click that off.
Let's see, let's go all the way to the bottom.
Something's going on. Yeah, I wonder if it's a Chrome thing or.
Let's say that's gonna be like the last 30 minutes of class, 20 minutes of class,
I mean,
whatever.
it should be a Chrome thing.
I'm thinking all they see is those 20 questions and the readings associated with those 20 questions.
This is the
Okay.
Damn, that's 5.
That's it,
Let's-
right?
okay, let's
One
ask
point
him.
there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's,
We'll bring it over, but I think that's what I'm seeing.
There.
If I'm
There we go.
understanding all this.
Appreciate it.
And then I can come back later and do the other
we have
sections.
questions.
So, you can be on the chapter page, click assign, boom, the whole thing goes out. Or you can go into assignments, new assignment, SmartBook assignment, and then micromanage it a little bit. Question.
Okay, now I'm looking at where you've got 3 of 3 questions, 6 of 6 questions, however, whatever.
Mhm.
If I wanted to assign like a 10-question quiz over this reading,
Yeah.
could I basically cherry pick, turn off the top one, and then cherry pick the little sections I wanted to give them,
Right.
and make that the assignment?
You know what? So this 2.0 has a lot more power, and this is the first time I've been in front of teachers with the 2.0.
Okay.
So, you're going to,
So like you see how the box has to check? If you uncheck that box, right?
Yeah, it takes out the questions.
That'll take out what?
Take out those
Whatever you
questions, right?
checked. Mm-hmm.
So then you could,
So I could select like 3 of those sections that total 10 or 20 or however many,
yeah.
and that's all the student would get, and that's all they'd have to answer, and I'm giving them a grade based on that.
Yes.
I was even looking at that from a standpoint, because I know they get on our nerves by this RTI stuff. But I think this would be a good scenario for them trying to reteach something to a student, not from an AP standpoint, but from the regular
Just
class
in general,
standpoint.
Yeah.
If a student did not get this standard or something like that, you can give it back to them again. Let's say you did something in class, but you want to give it back to them again for a reteaching scenario. I'm assuming you tell them wrong, but it could be a good reteaching tool. Where it'll give you back feedback.
Think so.
and
The
time they have and
scaffolding,
things that matter.
the fact that if they get it wrong, they go over and reread it and then come back, that learning objective does not get dropped because they didn't get it right. So I didn't point it out to you, but in the SmartBook, it says your progress at the top. If you get a question wrong, your progress stays at the same spot. And then as you get questions right, it removes learning objectives from its question set. And so it's an algorithmic, it's basing things on correctness, length of time, confidence level. It's taking so many things into account for that re-highlighting. It's just, like I said to you guys, I wasn't being funny. Now that you've seen this, when I train teachers, I go, I don't care if you don't like digital, I need you to use this, because this has the power to support kids that are struggling, and it change their AP grade, change their retention of the information. I just think it's a really powerful tool. So like I said, that training I had with 6 teachers, 2 of them, all they used was this component, and they were like, we love it, right?
And
We
also,
love it.
I have this question too, sir, because I've been having this question in my mind. If I, like, right now, you just have that click, and I get that to him and say it's due by next Friday. Can I go back into the same assignment again and just check the other boxes?
You can. Yeah, you can. You can go in and edit it and modify the due date. So if you want to give them another day.
Well, when I do your report, though, it will show that you had the opportunity to do all those things that I give you, right?
So you bring up a very good point. If a kid gets a 70 on a SmartBook assignment, they made the choice.
Because they didn't go back and
They
correct
didn't
their
go
own.
back and keep working.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
when
trying to figure out.
I don't know about what you have to do for parent-teacher conferences, but when you say we had a reading assignment and had a possible score of 100, if they kept reading and kept answering the questions, they could have gotten 100 no matter what. It's
That's what
their
I'm-
fault. This is on them.
So from a report standpoint, would it show that the scenario of what I'm saying, you gave them the assignment timely,
Can
this is
you
what they
print
went in there and
something out
did,
that
this how long they
was
took, but they did not finish all of it.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
what I'm trying to
Yeah.
There's a
Can-
feature to print that out?
So, and
All the reports are
Per student?
printable. Yeah, all the reports will export to an Excel file, and you have them. Yeah.
So I always assume that kids like water are going to seek the lowest possible level because I was that student in high school. If I was a student and I was assigned this and I didn't want to read, what I would do is I would go to the questions, I would click on them, and if I got them wrong, I would go back to the question and click on it until I got the right answers.
So
Is there a way for us to tell how long they're spending on questions?
I don't think on a particular question, but let me say something. Don't tell them this, but if a mouse stops moving for more than 60 seconds, it freezes their time. So they cannot open it and walk away and then say to you, I read for an hour and a half, because it will freeze at 1 minute. Okay, 60 seconds. So time-wise, if you say I'm paying attention how long you're spending in the book, and they're like, I got this, and they open it and go away, it will freeze at 60 seconds. Also, so I have a friend who was a 30-year environmental science teacher who used these components in his book, and kids would screen grab and try to shoot
Share
answers around.
answers, yeah, absolutely.
All of that. And so he pulled up that they read for 9 minutes and answered 53 questions. And so there's a little bit of a disconnect there. I mean, so that sort of, it starts to glare at some point. And this is what I always say to teachers. I love teachers. Like, what are you doing about cheating? I was like, well, we have this, and we can scramble, and we can do this, and we can do this. But at the end of all of that, when I talk to teachers, it is 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Cheaters will cheat. Cheaters will cheat. We have to put some obstacles in the way. But there
That
are
was
some
just
things.
my
I know.
immediate thought of
I
how
know.
it would be easier to do it. I just wanted to.
Sure. Who are we doing a disservice to? Them. It's trying to be a tool to improve their reading.
No, it's great. I mean, it really is.
I know, it's so frustrating. Why is it? Back when we were kids, like back in 1883, when we didn't have y'all dial-up internet,
Yeah.
like not unlimited, like raise your
AOL
hand.
on the CDs.
So of course, I feel like everyone's in this boat. I mean,
y'all
my
had
papers
dial-up
in high
when you were in
school
high
were
school?
blue or black ink, double-lined paper. I handwrote printed papers. And like once a semester, something might need to be done on a typewriter, and it was covered in whiteout. Just like, it would like crack. It had so much on it. So you see, through the course, through the chapter page, chapter 9, assign, boom, the whole thing is out. Or we go into assignments, new assignment, SmartBook 2.0, and you can super micromanage this reading experience. Okay. So I'm going to choose the whole chapter. We're going to assign chapter 10. Continue. Okay, we're going to continue. It's probably not stressed out because it's at the forever. This is chapter 10, SmartBook reading. Okay, it's one thing I'll say to you, just so you know, computer computers are only as dumb as the people working them, and I'm number one dummy, right? If you try to assign something in the past, it won't let you do it. It will constantly be angry at you. So you always need to pick the future. So what time is it right now? It's 1:53. We could do 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this reading is due tomorrow by midnight. I'm doing a Saturday reading assignment. 100 points, assign, okay, assign, and now this assignment is in the dashboard, and they will see, this is the demo account, so we keep adding stuff, but here's these assignments here, okay?
Does that fall off for the student once they've completed it?
Yeah,
Does it fall off after the time expires, or do you have to set it to the day?
I think it falls off after the time expires. Yeah, yeah, it falls off after the time expires. So, can everyone, people are already doing it, but I want you to explore in there creating a smart book assignment, and I want to walk around and kind of help answer questions if anyone wants to. So are you in psychology?
No,
Are you-
I'm
Oh, you're
mirroring that.
following me.
Yeah.
You're follow the leader.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's screen recording.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. So smart book.
Mhm.
Okay. New assignment. Because psychology is going to be different. I think
They only have
econ, are
version
there
1.
any econ teachers in here?
Well, no, I don't do that anymore.
You don't do it anymore. You do. So econ has probably the smart book 1.0, I would guess. So it just looks a little bit differently, but the assigning of it and all of that feels the same. Yeah.
And I just did one for government.
For government.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely need your help.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me too, and I'm on the phone, so I'm gonna join you.
So now,